Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 13th. Here's what we're working on. U.S. President Joe Biden and his predecessor, Donald Trump, have both clinched their party's nominations. Get ready for the longest presidential campaign yet.
Fun! This is pretty fun. The 2023 Grey Crop provided a huge economic boost for both the city of Hamilton and the province of Ontario.
And George Thorogood is coming to Niagara Falls. Good morning. Okay, let's see how things are.
How are you feeling?
Oh,
Yeah.
back away.
You're on the injured list? But
Yeah, I'm on the injured list.
making your way through?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
hope
good.
I still have a voice by the end of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Tap me in if you're ready.
All right.
I'm here
I
for
can
you.
hear it in my ear. You're just a little pluggy.
A little groggy,
Yeah, a little pluggy today.
Well, hopefully the
you'll
sunshine
feel
will
better.
help.
Oh,
Did the
it
sun-
didn't, because yesterday, it's like having a cold in the summertime almost.
Yeah.
It was like so nice out yesterday, and I'm like, I just can't go.
You just feel terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, today will be another one. Maybe you'll feel better today. It will be a lovely sunny day, and it's going to be even milder than it was yesterday. Yesterday, we got to 15.1 to be exact. Today, the forecast high is 18 degrees, shy of the record for this day, which we will talk about coming up. But 18 degrees today in the sunshine. The winds are going to shift around later on as a cold front goes through, so we're anticipating cooler temperatures as we head through toward the weekend. So we'll talk about that coming up. Having a quick look at traffic. And of course, this week being March break week, the volume's fairly light. That's the way it is right now. 403 Waterdown Road area looks pretty good. MTO traffic cameras. I'll just give you a few. The Red Hill Creek camera. Now you're coming around the bend towards us from Centennial Parkway, so Toronto-bound lanes towards us on that. Again, Toronto-bound, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge coming towards us. And same here at Appleby Line. And as you can see here, no problems on the roads right now. No collisions, no volume. We're moving nicely. So we'll look at weather and traffic in a few minutes. By the way, I didn't mention, it is 11 degrees to start the day here today. 11 right now. And we'll talk about the forecast coming up right now, the news.
Okay. How about an election forecast? Get ready for a very long campaign south of the border. Joe Biden and Donald Trump have clinched the nominations for their parties, setting the stage for the U.S. presidential election in November. Simone Gavros joins us with more.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, yes, the rematch is set between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. They're going to be going head-to-head in November. Again, this was the second time from last time in 2020, and now they're going head-to-head in November on November 5th. And it's shaping up to be a very interesting election in the next over 230 days. That's how long we're going to be hearing about this election campaign going on. Now, both of them won their primaries in Georgia, Mississippi, and Washington yesterday. And they both took to social media last night to celebrate their wins for their parties. Biden saying that this is, quote, a time of choosing and calling people to vote in record numbers. And Trump's post said that he'll celebrate when the election is over. This follows a successful Super Tuesday for both candidates when they dominated coast-to-coast contests, leaving little doubt about where the race was headed. But this won't be an easy race for both nominees. Trump faces a number of felony charges, and Biden is working to assure the country that he's physically and mentally fit to do the job. Now, this will be the first U.S. presidential election rematch in the last 70 years, and this is all going to take place on November 5th. But for now, Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Let's come to Hamilton now because a house fire near Gage Park has caused about $800,000 worth of damage. So it started just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon at a home on Prospect Street North. That's near Main and Gage. Everyone did get out safely. There was heavy smoke coming from the top floor of the 2.5-story home when fire crews got there. Flames and heat inside, they were just too intense, so firefighters had to fight it from outside. A second alarm was called to bring in additional crews. No word yet on how this started.
City of Hamilton's ransomware attack is now preventing some city employees from getting paid for overtime. The head of one of their unions, which represents about 450 paramedics, is concerned that patient care may be compromised. He says there's been staffing issues for years when it comes to paramedics, and the city has had the advantage of many of them working overtime. if they refuse to work additional hours, that could lead to parked ambulances and longer response times. The union hasn't received any conclusive information from the city as to when they plan on paying their workers for extra shifts they've worked. We reached out to the city of Hamilton about what's causing that delay. The city didn't answer our questions and declined our request for an interview. The cyber attack was first discovered February 25th. The city has confirmed it was a ransomware attack, but it's still unclear when the issue could be resolved.
Significant, thousands of dollars. I'm getting calls from some paramedic members that are owed $2,500, close to $3,000. Numerous shifts are worked and they're not being paid. A lot of our paramedics rely on the extra shifts to make ends meet. When that pay is not forthcoming, they look at options. Option one, we're not going to work overtime. Option two, I can go to a neighboring municipality where I also work and work the shifts there and get paid on time.
The union says there needs to be some kind of solution, even if it means cutting manual checks for staff. Well, the artwork has been chosen for outside Burlington's new Skyway Community Centre. The city has selected Zhao Yan's proposal, Ephemeral Reverie. The multicolored statues of recycled concrete represent melting icebergs. They'll be installed at the centre's main entrance this fall, a reminder of our duty to protect nature. The centre will replace the old Skyway Arena near Lakeshore Road between Appleby and Burl Oak. Now, another of Yan's pieces was recently on display at the Art Gallery of Hamilton. Spirit Cloud was part of the gallery's Wonder exhibit. It was made of pearls and filament, and it seemed to change as you moved around it. The numbers are in. Last year's Grey Cup Festival provided a huge economic boost that reached beyond the city of Hamilton. A new study commissioned by the CFL and the Hamilton Tiger Cats says the Grey Cup game and the festivities generated economic activity across Canada. And that economic impact nationally was $73.5 million, reaching to suppliers and jobs. In Hamilton, after expenditures, it says the economic impact was worth just over $29 million. The study puts overall attendance at more than 223,000 people. Some say this is a sign that more events like this for the city could be happening. The federal government has cautioned that these kinds of studies, though, may overstate some figures.
That's great news. Okay, let's get into sports. 10 games in the NHL ice last night. No Leafers. They are off until tomorrow when they play Philly. So let's start with the Sabres, whose playoff hopes, they're still alive, but they needed to beat Detroit, who holds down that final wildcard spot in the East.
Greenway is a beast out there on that shift.
Yeah, and
Benson, great pass, scores!
Oh, they sure did beat them. Scoring 4 times in the first period against the Red Wings, who have hit the skids. Jeff Skinner scored the winner, but it wasn't even close. 7-3 the final, which was Detroit's 6th straight loss. So they are now tied with the Islanders for that final wild card in the East. Buffalo 5 points back, and they play host to the Isles tomorrow.
On comes Batherson, drops for Sanderson, forced Tuchla, moves it back across, shot score!
No chance of the playoffs for the Senators this season, but they finally did get a win against Sid and the Penguins in Ottawa. Drake Batherson snapped home the OT winner to end a brutal 7-game losing streak for Michael Andlauer's squad.
He'll celebrate a birthday, his 20th on March the 30th. As that shot kick inside, rebound, stop!
What a save by the Habs. Caden Primo in Montreal last night. Absolutely robbing Blue Jackets on a Save of the Year candidate. Wasn't his only one. He made 41 saves. Didn't let one get past him. Picked up his second career shutout as the Habs blank Columbus 3-0 to give them only their second regulation win in 12 games. Let's go to Oklahoma City, where our boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, there he is right there, back to his old self, with Indiana in town. So SGA would drop 30 points for the 48th time this season. That sets a new franchise record for Oklahoma City, besting the 47 from Kevin Durant, who was a member of the Thunder way back when and is a pretty darn good player and future Hall of Famer. The crazy part, there were still 18 games remaining for him to make it untouchable. The Pacers would go on to beat the Thunder, 121-111, however. Blue Jays, after a slow start to spring training, they're starting to heat up as they hammered their Yankees in Dunedin yesterday. The new guy, Justin Turner, he is looking in fine form, going 3 for 3, 2 ribbies in the 8-1 win. So Jays had 12 hits, while Jose Barrios had a solid start, only allowing 1 run, 3 hits and struck out 3. Jays sitting at 8-9 in the spring. They try to make it an even 9-9 when they face the Pirates today.
6-10 is the 6-10. What was that? 6:10 is the time. Okay, we're off to a good start here on this Wednesday morning, the 13th of March. I do know that. Let's get to traffic first of all, and then we'll get into the forecast for the day. Looks good there, 403 Waterdown Road area. Nothing to see, a very light volume, actually right around the Horseshoe so far today. MTO traffic cameras will start in St. Catharines as usual. Here's the Garden City Skyway. That looks pretty good at the moment. So nothing at the Garden City Skyway West. Toronto bound lanes coming towards us at the Red Hill Creek. Same here at Brant Street, well, just west of Brant, actually. Ford plant looks good, coming around into Mississauga, and we'll check a little further along, going through all the construction that is lingering, but it's come to an end here now, so things are moving nicely at the QEW in Cawthra. Look at the temperature we have. Now, we have dropped from 11 degrees last hour to 9 this hour, so still a mild start to the day. We have a bit of a southwesterly flow, and it's that flow that's giving us the milder temperatures. It's a partly cloudy sky at the moment. We have a low pressure system to the north, and that's pulling in some milder air. You can see from those red arrows, the southerly flow pulling in the nice mild temperatures. We got to 15 yesterday. Today that cold front will go through. That's going to shift the winds around, make it a much cooler overnight tonight, and tomorrow we're looking at that low pushing across us, giving us some showers. We'll start off with a chance of showers, and then some showers later in the day. But look at the temperatures today. 16 and 15 for Niagara, 17 and 18 around the rest of the Horseshoe. I think Emily likes that. She's kind of hooting over there. But lots of sunshine for today, just a little bit of cloud cover on and off. Tonight is going to be a lot cooler, +1 to +2. Skies will be partly cloudy. That's the wind shifting around to the northwest for later on today, pulling in cooler temperatures. And then tomorrow, still very nice, but not quite like today. And there's that chance of showers. Bit of sun for the morning. Temperatures anywhere from 10 to 12, 13, even 14 for Niagara for the day tomorrow. So a bit of sun, but then there's that chance of showers later. So out the door this morning, 13th of March, it is partly cloudy. Temperature sitting at 9 degrees. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, let's check in now with Emily Vukovic. What do you have coming up in Chit Chat?
I first have to mention that I did yard work yesterday. Like, I actually raked my lawn, got rid of the sticks, put away all the Christmas decorations on March break. That
Wow.
never happens.
When do you normally put the Christmas decorations away?
Yeah, really.
Okay, the Christmas decorations were a little much this year, okay? But like actually raking and like doing yard work and getting rid of leaves, like
Just keep them up all year.
Okay, coming up, Christina Applegate has a brand new podcast talking about her MS diagnosis and how she's living with the disease, and Matthew Perry's will has been revealed. We will discuss all of those details.
Okay.
See you at the couch in a little
Coming
bit.
up after the break, were you a big fan of Scholastic as a kid?
Yeah.
I was so excited about Scholastic when the catalogs came out. Yeah.
Oh, the book fair.
The book fair, yes.
Yeah. It's still a thing. My kids are still
Is it?
getting them.
Okay, well, Scholastic's now moving into the animation world right here in Canada. 6:15 on your Wednesday morning. Canadian dollar unchanged in overseas trading this morning at 74.12 cents US. Gold is down $1.80. Crude oil is up by just over $1 to $78.58 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London and Paris, but down in Frankfurt.
Checking in on Asia, markets down just over 100 basis points in Tokyo. Some slight losses as well in Hong Kong and Shanghai. What about North American markets? On Wednesday, some big gains when it comes to Wall Street for the Dow and NASDAQ. Slight gains for Bay Street and TSX. Let's see how they do as we get into this Wednesday, March the 13th.
The publishing giant Scholastic is expanding from books to animation. They're investing $186 million US in a Toronto-based children's animation studio. 9-Story Media Group produces Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood and this one, Doc McStuffins, among other programs. Scholastic says the investment's going to give it more access to production, sales, and licensing opportunities. The deal just needs the Minister of Canadian Heritage to sign off to make sure that Canadian content and other criteria are met.
When that arrives home, 3 people in my house are pretty excited and circling all the things that they want. All right. A new report suggests a common acne treatment could dangerously increase close contact with a cancer-causing chemical. So according to this report, benzene can form at unacceptable high levels in both prescription and over-the-counter benzoyl peroxide products. So some of those products could form more than 800 times the limit for benzene. Now, the report is from an independent laboratory. It's called Valisure. So Valisure found that high levels of benzene can form when this benzoyl peroxide are stored or handled at high temperatures. Examples include when they are left in a hot car at more than 150 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 14 days. Valisure sent a citizen petition urging the FDA in the States to request recalls and a suspension of sales for products containing the active ingredient benzoyl peroxide.
Boeing's mechanical problems are having a ripple effect. Southwest Airlines says it plans to hire fewer people this year because its aircraft supplier, Boeing, is expected to deliver far fewer planes. It's all because of safety concerns. United Airlines is also cutting back on pilot hiring because of Boeing's expected manufacturing and certification delays. Analysts say those problems, which include the door plug blowout in January, could end up costing Boeing billions of dollars. It could also snag the travel industry's economic recovery.
I want to stay with Boeing because a former employee turned whistleblower was found dead in South Carolina over the weekend, partway through his testimony against his former company. So the Charleston County Coroner's Office says 62-year-old John Barnett died on March 9th, possibly from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Barnett worked for Boeing for decades and had raised concerns about Boeing's production standards. In a statement to CNN, lawyers for Barnett said, quote, John was in the midst of a deposition in his whistleblower retaliation case, which finally was nearing the end, unquote. They say he was in good spirits and showed no indication that he would take his own life. They've encouraged police to continue investigating this death. Boeing issued a statement saying it is saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing.
Costco looking to tap into a new retail vein, precious metals for investors and collectors. It's just started selling a 25-count tube of Canada Maple Leaf silver coins online for $675. Members can purchase a maximum of 5. Last September, Costco started selling gold bars for about $2,000, and last quarter sold more than $100 million worth of those bars. Costco is leaning into this new trend as precious metals become much more valuable. Company also wants to reinforce its treasure hunt brand of having to buy it if you see it in the stores because it might not be there next time.
OpenAI is mocking its co-founder Elon Musk in a new court filing. So the company, they came out swinging in response to the billionaire's lawsuit, calling it incoherent and frivolous. Musk, who left the company back in 2018, he's accused OpenAI of breaching its founding agreement and diverging from its nonprofit mission. So in the open court filing, OpenAI says Musk actually supported a for-profit structure and dropped the project when it didn't want to sell to Tesla. So OpenAI is asking a judge to designate the case as complex to create some guardrails for discovery. The company worries Musk could use the process to access proprietary records and technology. Musk is now running his own artificial intelligence company, xAI.
If you worked for CIBC between 1993 and 2009, you may be entitled to a payment as part of a class action lawsuit. Last year, Ontario courts approved a $153 million settlement related to unpaid overtime. Class members have until March 25th to go online and submit a settlement claim form at cibconpaidovertime.ca. A release says the payout could be in the thousands of dollars. No supporting documents are required right now. The information will be checked against employee data, though.
Let's look at business news. So for the past few days, I've been talking about memories of a very warm March break as a kid.
Yes.
And these pictures that I remember taking. Well, my mom has found these pictures, and there is a really fascinating tie-in to today. We'll have that coming up after the break, along with Brian's look at the 7-day forecast, which could be a record breaker.
Good morning, 6:24 on this Wednesday morning. Looking pretty good in traffic today. Light volume, no problems with collisions at all. Garden City Skyway, this is the east camera, doing fine. The Burlington Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound towards us, coming up and over. Obviously a lot busier Toronto bound than the other side. Here's Appleby Line, looks good. No problems. Erin Mills Parkway through Mississauga. Even the 403, just up from the Ford plant, that's the 403-407 split. Pretty light volume at the moment. Temperatures right now. We are mild to start the day. Once again, 9 degrees at Hamilton, the mild spot, 8 Grimsby, 7 Mississauga, 5 for Toronto. Let's talk seasonals now. The seasonal daytime high has come up to 4 degrees. That's where we figure we should be, and an overnight low of -5. Those are our sun times and records for today. 21.8 back in 1990, 34 years ago. Where were you 34? We'll find out who and what they were doing 34 years ago coming up. But let's talk about the sunshine for the day today. Look at that, 18 degrees. I mean, we're going to be shy of the record for today, 21.8, but still, what a mild day. Sunny and 18 today. It'll dip to 2 tonight. That cold front goes through later on this afternoon. That drops our temperatures. 12 degrees, chance of showers during the day. It looks like a greater chance in the afternoon. Friday showers at 8, Saturday 9 degrees. Actually not bad for this time of year. So enjoy Saturday, because Sunday we get some showers and cooler. Look at the flurries for Monday, and then spring arrives on Tuesday. High of +1. And that's it. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, so to outer space we go. And this is fascinating because NASA has unveiled the message that's heading to Jupiter's moon, Europa, a little bit later this year.
So it's a commemorative metal plate that's going to be on board NASA's Europa Clipper spacecraft when it launches in October. Decorated on both sides with a rare metal, and it's kind of like a cosmic message in a bottle. It's etched with millions of names that were submitted by the public, along with poetry and artwork that symbolize humanity. The outside of the plate has waveforms that represent the word water in 103 languages. The overall mission this fall is to explore Jupiter's ocean moon. NASA scientists estimate that a global ocean with more than twice the amount of water as our oceans exists beneath Europa's thick, icy shell.
Who gets the picture on there? Who is that?
I don't know.
What? Oh, that's how's that fair?
You wanted yours?
Well,
it's like, oh, it's that guy from Morning Live.
Who's that guy? Probably like, I don't know, he's probably smarter than me, most likely. Do you know actually how many languages there are in the world?
No.
There's over 7,000.
Really?
Yeah, because I looked it up. I'm like, well, how do they choose what 100 languages you put in water?
Okay.
Over in sign languages, too.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting.
Very cool.
I'm going to share some pictures from my childhood coming up at 6:30.
love these pictures.
And the tie-in to this is really kind of fascinating. On this day, 34 years ago. We'll see you in a couple minutes.